Thunder, Nuggets. It was like a throwback to the 90s. Neither team cracking 100, but somebody had to win. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder looking to tie up the series on the road against Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets. Early first, Shai getting it going. Mid-spinning mid-range there, and then pull-up mid-range here. 8 points in the first quarter, the same amount as the Nuggets as a team. OKC up 17-8 after one. Early second, here's Alex Caruso up to Isaiah Hartenstein, who throws it down 23-8. Later in the quarter, Nuggets trying to get it going. Jokic, floater, good. Nuggets down 10. Under 10 seconds left in the second. Give it to Jokic for three, and nice move there, and gets it to go. Nuggets made 8 field goals in the first half, fewest in a playoff half since the 2017 Raptors, and they were down 6 going into halftime. Early third, Nuggets making a move. Jokic for 3. Nuggets down 4. Later, Nuggets down 2. Aaron Gordon gets it, got it, sets up. Somebody guard him? No? Okay, then he'll do that. Nuggets take the lead. Couple possessions later, Nuggets up 3. Look at Murray working it right there and getting it to go. Nuggets up 6. Yeah, get those shoulders moving. And then Jokic. Little three-party going here. Nuggets shot 3 of 22 from 3 in the first half, 7 for 11 from 3 in the third. And the Nuggets were up 6 going into the fourth. But then here comes OKC, the ball movement on point. Aaron Wiggins hitting threes right there. OKC down 1. Cason Wallace, let's get him involved. Drills a 3. OKC gets the lead. And then SGA went to work. Watch this. Driving up on Murray, getting the floater. OKC up 3. How about his fadeaway game? How's that? Let's take a look. Ooh, nice. OKC up 5. Couple possessions later, Nuggets trying to get back in this one. Murray driving layup there. He had 17. Nuggets down 4, but in the end, too much. SGA on the drive at 25. OKC wins at 92-87. Series tied up at 2. And here's SGA coming up clutch.
Those are the moments where the guy on the team earns his buck. You earn your money. You close games, you win games, and that's what everything's about, winning games. And the later you go in the season, the better the teams, the closer the games, and you need to rise to the occasion.
We need to give ourselves a chance. We need to play physical. We need to be more physical than them, aggressive. And, of course, they're favorites. They're playing amazing. They won 6, 7, how many games they won. We need to give ourselves a chance to win a game.
Can you lean on the confidence that you've been there, done that, you've won there? I mean,
it's best out of 3. It's not a funeral, guys. It's best out of 3. We lost the game. On to the next.
Well, it's not a funeral, but the Thunder have life because SGA came up clutch. The Thunder led by 2 with 6 minutes left in regulation, and then Shai took over, getting 8 of his 25 points when it mattered most. Sunday was a bounce-back game for the MVP favorite. In Game 3, he struggled in the game's final moments, going 0 for 7 in the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. Not this time.
All right, we're back with Brian. So OKC showing some grit, some sand to even up this series. Not a pretty win, but a significant one. How did OKC pull this out, Brian?
Well, with the MVP, who's probably going to be named in the next week, and their depth, this was a story of Shai out-executing everybody else down the stretch. It was not in one of his top 100 finishes, but it was one of his most important ones because he was facing double teams in zone the entire game. And the Nuggets were forcing the ball out of his hands, and nobody on his team was hitting shots. And so he just willed away to get himself to the foul line, get a couple of clean looks. It was very important that the Thunder got into the bonus with about 7 minutes left in this game. That was like giving Shai the green light to draw contact. That helped them get over the hump. But I can't talk enough about the depth. 35-8 on the bench scoring. That was a difference in the game.
As for Denver, Nikola Jokic shot under 40% for the 3rd straight game. That's the first time in his postseason career that he's done that. So how is OKC making life difficult for Jokic right now?
He's exhausted, I think. The Nuggets have played 6 games in 13 days. Actually 7 games in 13 days because the 7-game series with the Clippers. They're basically playing 6.5 players at this point. The Thunder are throwing 3 different big men at Jokic, and they're wearing him down. This is a guy who has shot 56% in the playoffs the last 3 years. He's at about 45%. You see it in his free throws. He shot 90% in the playoffs last year. This year he's about 75%. You can just see it. His shots are short. He isn't getting separation. I think fatigue is playing a huge factor against the Nuggets. With the Thunder being much deeper, it really showed up today, and it could be a factor the rest of this series.
All right. It certainly doesn't bode well as we head into a Game 5 back in Oklahoma Tuesday. Brian will have some 17 consecutive points by the Pacers. Turner 13 in the second quarter, knocked down all 3 of his threes. That 41-point lead tied for the largest in NBA postseason history. So here's what it looked like at the half. Not only did Indy dominate the scoreboard, they forced Cleveland into 14 turnovers. That's the same amount they had in the entirety of Game 3. The Pacers with 25 assists in half 1, the most in any half of any playoff game in the last quarter century. So for all intents and purposes, the game was over at halftime. And it was definitely over for Donovan Mitchell. Warming up in the second half, he grabs the ankle and kind of limps off and would not play a second of the second half. We'll keep our eye on that. Toppin misses, but Pascal Siakam did not. He was 9 of 10 shooting for 21 points. And then Halliburton inside to TJ McConnell just slings it for Toppin. Pacers go on to win 129-109. Here's Kenny Atkinson on the drubbing.
Complete domination by them is really, it's kind of the story, kind of in every facet. It wasn't like, tactics or anything involved. They dominated us in every facet of the game, and that's what got a 20-point game or really 30-point game. Left ankle injury. He'll get a MRI tomorrow.
So obviously there's just not much more you can say as far as availability.
I mean, no idea. I mean, obviously he couldn't go in the second half. So see what the MRI says.
Let's bring in our senior NBA reporter, Brian Windhorst, on this. I get it, Brian. Sometimes things snowball on you. That was an avalanche coming down on the Cavs. That we don't see a lot of 41-point halftime leads in the NBA. And then Donovan Mitchell doesn't play in half 2 with the ankle, and you wonder, was it the lead? Was it the ankle? What can you tell us about the Spider injury?
Well, first off, you got to give credit to the Pacers. They played a brilliant game. This series has been about who controls the pace of play. The Cavs got the Pacers to slow down in Game 3. They went back to their pace of play and topped it with some brilliant execution. Donovan Mitchell has been dealing in this series with a calf injury. It was not serious enough to be on the injury report, but he was definitely dealing with it and admitted he was going through something. So when you see that video of him appearing to pull something, I mean, he didn't even get airborne, but the Cavs say left ankle. We'll go with left ankle. They'll know more about the MRI, but Donovan, had a calf injury last year in the playoffs, actually in the second round. Was sort of coming from heavy usage rate when the team was dealing with some injuries at that time. He ended up missing a couple of games in the Celtics series when the Cavs were eliminated. Now, really, this is all about what his availability is, because I can't see the Cavs winning 3 consecutive games against a Pacers team that is playing awesome and has been playing awesome for 3 or 4 months now, with Donovan Mitchell not able to go. Yeah, we'll borrow from the NHL, call it a lower leg injury. We'll see how it plays out, but all of a sudden, the best team in the East all